Hi, sis.
Hi, we're on lesson 365 today. Just
Whoa,
kidding.
we collapsed time. We are
We
good.
did.
We are good. Talk about a little demonstration, guys. Okay. Who said it was metaphorical? All right. Yeah, lesson 25, and our sis will be reading.
I will. Okay.
Yes.
Lesson 25. I do not know what anything is for. Hmm. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Purpose is meaning. Today's idea explains why nothing you see means anything. You do not know what it is for. Therefore, it is meaningless to you. Everything is for your own best interests. I want to repeat that line.
Yeah.
Everything is for your own best interests.
Yes. Emphasis on the word everything.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
We can't exclude anything. That is what it is for. That is its purpose, and that is what it means. Okay, so it is always for our own best interests once we give it to Holy Spirit to
Right.
divinely repurpose it, right?
So it's never what the ego has decided upon and what it thinks it knows, but in the surrendered state, allowing Holy Spirit to teach you, then everything is for your greatest good, your own best, your best interests. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is in recognizing this that your goals become unified. It is in recognizing this that what you see is given meaning. You perceive the world and everything in it as meaningful in terms of ego goals. These goals have nothing to do with your own best interests because the ego is not you. This false identification makes you incapable of understanding what anything is for. As a result, you are bound to misuse it. When you believe this, you will try to withdraw the goals you've assigned to the world instead of attempting to reinforce them. Another way of describing the goals you now perceive is to say that they are all concerned with personal interests. And what he means by that is personal self-seeking interests, which are apart from anybody else and also apart from Holy Spirit. Yeah.
To bolster the sense of a mythical me, right? This
Yes.
false persona. Okay.
Since you have no personal interests, I've got to laugh.
What do you
Since
mean?
he says here, since you have no personal interests, your goals are really concerned with nothing. Because why? Because the ego who that believes that it's concerned with personal interests does not exist. Okay. Wow. In cherishing them, these goals, ego goals, therefore, you have no goals at all. And thus, you do not know what anything is for. Wow, that's another slap across the cheek with a wet fish, isn't it?
Totally. I'm just gobsmacked. Yeah, so the mythical me that's still looking out and thinks it has personal goals, right? Still
Oh,
thinks that if I obtain this, if I get that, if I achieve this, then I'll be happy. That's what the ego is all about, right?
I'll be fulfilled. I'll
Oh,
be
yes.
complete.
Yes.
My peace rests on everybody outside of me and everything outside of me and
Right.
my body, right?
Yes.
No.
And
That's
if
very
I
ego.
if I obtain any of that, then yeah, then I will have arrived or achieved, or I'll come to a place of peace and satisfaction.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's a big one to undo, but we just have to go slowly, slowly,
Mhm.
each step, take each step
Yeah.
and trust, have faith that the Holy Spirit is supporting us all the way, right?
And you
So
can,
go
we're
on.
still trying to make something meaningful out of the meaningless. This is another way to do it.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. Paragraph 4. Before you can make any sense out of the exercises for today, one more thought is necessary. At the most superficial levels, you do recognize purpose. Yet purpose cannot be understood at these levels. For example, you do understand that a telephone is for the purposes of talking to someone who is not physically in your immediate vicinity. Well, yeah, that's what our mobile phones are for, right? What you do not understand is what you want to reach him for.
Mm.
And it is this that makes your contact with him meaningful or not.
And that takes us right up to the first sentence. Purpose is meaning. So the only meaning that anything has is what are you using it for? The ego uses things to either defend itself or for aggrandizement, to better the self-improvement. But underneath all of that, there is a meaning when we allow the Holy Spirit to show us what the real purpose is. So what is the purpose of the communication? Why are you doing what you're doing? If you're doing it with Holy Spirit, only then will it be meaningful. But while the ego's got it, nothing real is transpiring.
Yeah. Paragraph 5. It is crucial to your learning to be willing to give up the goals you have established for everything. The recognition that they are meaningless rather than good or bad is the only way to accomplish this. The idea for today is a step in this direction. 6 practice periods, each of 2 minutes duration, are required. Each practice period should begin with a slow repetition of the idea for today, right? I do not know what anything is for, followed by looking about you and letting your glance rest on whatever happens to catch your eye, near or far, important or unimportant, human or non-human. With your eyes resting on each subject, you so select, on each subject you so select. Say, for example, I do not know what this chair is for. I do not know what this pencil is for. I do not know what this hand is for, or this foot, or this orchid. I do not know what this orchid is for.
I think it's pretty and it's to look at. Sorry.
Yeah, but there's something even more meaningful underneath what we're looking at here.
So if I didn't drag my past forward and beheld that in a state of awe and wonder, having never seen anything before, and allow the Holy Spirit to inform me what it is, it would be far more meaningful, as opposed to the ego trying to make something meaningful out of the meaningless. Meaningful, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what I've noticed, it's good to talk about this, because what I've noticed when I have trained my mind to to allow the Holy Spirit, or invite the Holy Spirit to tell me what everything is for. Yeah, pretty much most of the time. What I find is that there's a pattern emerging from all of that. And that is that whenever I am open to see what Holy Spirit would use something for, it always transcends the ego's personal self-seeking interests and agendas.
Yes.
It transcends it. In other words, I would say the one common denominator in everything that the ego that the Holy Spirit reveals as its purpose is that it is shared with everyone. It's able to be shared with at least somebody else,
Yes.
right? There's a sharing, there's an opening of the heart, of the mind, there's an opening in communication with another or with others. Does that make sense, sis?
Yeah, I think the ego simply takes in, and I wanted to back up to the sentence and I'll incorporate it. It says that it is crucial to your learning to be willing to give up the goals you have established for everything. The recognition that they are meaningless rather than, quote, good or bad is the only way to accomplish this. So the ego looks around very selfishly and says, what is this? And is it good for me or is it bad for me? Either I'm defending or I want it, right? And it's so closed circuit and it misses the whole point of it. But when we're willing to drop even those things that the ego has characterized as good and I want, or bad, I want to defend and get away from, and we allow Holy Spirit to look upon it with us, there is something beyond the selfish view of it that blesses the entire sonship. And when we look at it through that lens, which is the Christ vision, we will see something altogether, lovely, meaningful. We may be shocked and surprised at what we see, but we'll never see it while we're still looking through it through that personal, selfish lens.
Really well explained. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beyond all, past all self-interest is where we're heading.
So just getting back to those practice sentences there. I do not know what this chair is for, this pencil, this hand, whatever your eyes light on, right? Say this quite slowly without shifting your eyes from the subject until you've completed the statement about it. Then move on to the next subject and apply today's idea as before. Yeah, that's a good lesson. I mean, they're all good lessons, but
yeah,
beautiful.
So are we willing to surrender and state, I don't know what anything is for? The ego doesn't know. And while we're ego identified, we don't know, but we can know if we're willing to be taught by our right mind, which is the Holy Spirit. So he's asking us to really, again, take our fingers off the wheel and loosening the mind to be open to receive a different definition of something, whatever we're looking at. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, are we good?
I think so. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a practical question before you finish recording, and that is the chat feature of Zoom. Is that visible on the recording for anybody watching the recording? If we put something in the chat box,
no, they cannot see it.
They can't access it. So if I put a link there, they can't access it.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Why? What are you going to send me?
No, I'm just looking at the two convection ovens, the link. Hi, everyone. You got to laugh, right?
This is determined that she knows what's in my best interest and she's shopping for me.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, but I'm still leaving it to Holy Spirit.
Thanks, sis. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you anon for the next lesson.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.